Okay, recording this video after close of trade Friday, 2nd of September 2011. Hope you had a good day's trading today. Apologies the video's out late and that there was no video yesterday. A little bit distracted at the moment. We've got a lot of paperwork kind of going on here in Sydney. Plus, we're back off to France on Thursday of next week, and so a lot of packing and arranging going on here. So apologies if there's not going to be much activity on the site over the next few days and I'm a little bit distracted. But anyway, I hope this sell-off over the last 2 days didn't take anybody by surprise. Wednesday's video was pretty clear, saying we were coming up to a cyclical turning point. A lot of reasons that we were going to start to move down, and here it is on the daily time frame. We've got this cyclical turning point, better sine wave kind of come in. It was signaled nicely the 2 days prior. We had doji patterns for 2 days running, and this one coming into that cyclical turning point was high volume churn bar, high volume churn, high volume, relatively low range, showing a lot of kind of professional profit taking and market kind of finding it difficult to advance. And so, we've sold off over the last couple of days. We got Labor Day on Monday. Market's going to be shut, so not sure what that's kind of showing up on the charts with a little bit kind of less activity with today, Friday. So let me show you what I'm seeing. Here's this daily time frame cyclical turn, but interestingly on the 135-minute chart, we've come back and rested at the breakout level here. So 135-minute charts, there are 3 of these bars in a day session. That's why I use this as kind of one time frame down from daily time frame. And when we get breakouts like this, potentially we kind of come back, rest at the resistance level. So the breakout levels resistance becomes support, and potentially we could kind of bounce off that. However, we have got these daily time frame swings down on better sine wave on a whole bunch of risk on and risk off markets. They're kind of moving in sync. So I'll show you that, and you kind of make your own judgment as to whether there's going to be continuation. We've got this cyclical turn came up on all the time frames. This is the Dow chart, pullback in a downtrend, and this was kind of the amateur activity kind of leading into that pullback in a downtrend cyclical turn that happened. You can see with Friday's activity another kind of amateur down bar. And that's why I'm kind of saying we're just in a little bit of congestion. When you see these kind of amateur bars like this, kind of high and low, that just shows there's a little bit of kind of congestion at that point. So, potentially we could hold a little bit on Monday, Tuesday. Not sure. Kind of wait and see. I think so much of the market is kind of news driven at the moment. We've got potentially some extremely bad news kind of coming out of Europe and the US. We've got all the jobs numbers coming out of US. Everybody's kind of reviewing their kind of forecasts of GDP growth and so on. And out of Europe, we've got plus the bank story kind of keeps on going on with kind of news that the US government's going to be suing a whole bunch of banks. Then European story, everybody knows that. Greece is starting to miss kind of key deadlines and so on. We've got all the EFSF kind of partners starting to wonder about their commitment, and then we got Christine Lagarde saying the Germans should pay for everything. So everybody knows the story, but if there are some kind of big news stories that start to come out of the US and Europe, and the confidence just goes, we could easily see this kind of downtrend kind of continue on this daily time frame. Usually pullback to end of trends are really good kind of signals, but I'm just concerned that this was an amateur down bar, and so if we break above the high of that bar, something's in the wind and we could be moving to a new uptrend. But for the time being, the cycle is playing off to the downside. So same thing, Russell pullback in a downtrend, no volume data here. S&P 500, same deal, pullback. Well, this is a cyclical turn on this time frame. Signaled slightly different on the S&P market, but the same sequence in terms of up and down kind of amateur bars. And here's the Nasdaq, so pullback in a downtrend. Nasdaq, the whole of last week and then the last couple of bars, been extremely light activity in terms of Nasdaq, having seen this sell-off. So, no conviction in terms of buying this breakout. Let's see, where this kind of move on the downside kind of takes us. In terms of oscillators, just recapping Wednesday, better trend oscillator was showing that we were topped out, and on the Tuesday we had the bearish divergence signal here, and I was saying that's kind of a precursor to a turning point in the oscillator. We got the turning point on the Wednesday Thursday, and so we signaled down short in terms of the better trend systems here. So this trend oscillator is kind of moving down. And trend line, we're just in this kind of wide congestion zone here. We start break below this this trend line, we're going to head on down and be testing 1100. But just it is a consolidation zone, so we could be seeing the market getting trapped at this trend line, kind of between 1160 and 1170 around here, this kind of level. So just be watching for that over the next few days. Better X trend. So this flipped the last couple of days, and I was saying in the last video that I wasn't so sure about this. I mean, it closed above the trailing stop level, but kind of only just, and it was a doji pattern, and then we kind of continued on down. I've just been playing with this code and getting it right for release in the next few weeks, so just bear with me on that. But was interesting when you look at this on the @ES chart. So this is the day and night data. @ES.D is just the day sessions data, and you can see the gaps between each day's activity. You can see little gaps, but on the continuous data, day and night data, there's no kind of gaps, only a gap on a Sunday evening. But you can see here that the trailing stop has kept us in a downtrend, and we've had one of these kind of exhaustion selling bars here. So is this going to be one of these moves here where we see one of these bars, exhaustion selling bars, kind of caught in the next few days at the lows, where the professionals kind of step in and then we break into an uptrend? Or is it going to be the beginning of this kind of move where we just kind of continue on down and testing 1100? So just thinking about that. So Tuesday, Wednesday's activity is going to be key, and to see if we kind of have low range bars kind of hanging around this kind of 50-60 level for a couple of days, I'd suggest that we might be kind of then testing 1200 on the upside. If we get kind of continuation of this, and the confidence in the market kind of goes, we're going to be going down to 1100. Interesting move in the bond market kind of continued. So the risk on, risk off kind of move has continued over Thursday, Friday. So we kind of moved, market moved out of the risk on trades into the risk off trades, and we had bond market, dollar index kind of doing well, and the interest rates kind of moved down. So just quickly showing you that on these charts. So TY is the 30-year, really big move on Thursday into Friday's activity at 3.3%, getting close to the levels that we saw in 2008. TN 10-year, same thing, kind of broke through cyclical support here, and the 5-year are in a downtrend. We're below cyclical support and can continue on down. I just used the better sine wave on the interest rates, because you can see these kind of swings in interest rates, although there's no kind of price and volume information like a regular kind of chart. You can see the swings in terms of interest rates. And then when you look at this on the monthly charts, and I've been talking about this, for the last year, since the beginning of the year, we've been in a downswing in terms of interest rates, and the bond markets continue to race away. So on the 30-year, this is the highs that we saw at the beginning of the year 2011 here, and we've still got a couple of months to go in terms of this downswing on the better sine wave on the monthly charts. 10-year, same thing, a couple of months to go before we get that kind of cyclical support area kind of coming in, and the 5-year, same thing here, even further away from that cyclical. And we're in September now. A lot of confidence is going in the marketplace. We could see a continuation of the down move in equities. Because there's a move into the bond market and this kind of deflation play. And there's the bond market. So on the 30-year contract, I mean, we're above on the daily chart. We're above cyclical resistance and kind of hanging around. When we hang around at this type of levels here, we tend to move into another uptrend. I know we've had exhaustion buying, flush signals, and so on. It looks like very weak at this point here, but we're certainly moving out of the risk-on markets. And just to show you that, actually go back on this on the dollar index. So this was the move in the dollar index. Must admit I've been kind of conflicted on the dollar index here, because in terms of better momentum on this chart, we've had exhaustion buying and flush signals here at the highs, and then every time we've moved into the highs here, these up bars have been professional up bars, and they've led to the lows of those bars being broken each time, and so that would say that's kind of professional profit taking at the highs. But with Thursday, Friday's activity, we haven't been able to get through 73.5 kind of these cyclical support amateur down bars at the bottom here, and we're kind of testing the other way. Whenever we get these kind of bullish and divergent signals right on the zero line like this, it means we're going to break into an uptrend. The question is which direction. It looks like it's going to be into the dollar index, and the flip side is out of the euro, and so this is the euro here. resistance at 44.5 over the last week and a half's kind of held, and you can see all these amateur bars, Rambo pattern here, no demand. The amateurs kind of buying that breakout at 45, didn't get their what they wanted, kind of went the other way, and a little bit of a sell-off here. So and then look at all the other risk on markets. Crude, cyclical turning point kind of confirmed on Friday. Rambo pattern here, bearish divergence, we're kind of rolling over here, and you can see last time we came into resistance, Rambo pattern, same kind of thing, continued on down again. I know we've had exhaustion selling on the downside, but we're going to be testing back down until we see a flush signal or something like that. So I think momentum's going to continue on down. This is copper, same thing, amateur bars kind of into this turning point's now confirmed on Friday. A little bit of buying into copper here, so with no supply pattern, so we kind of closed in the middle of the range. So potentially, after selling off in copper, we could be kind of finding a little bit of support here. So again, the play on Tuesday, Wednesday, if we kind of had low range bars holding in all of these markets at this type of breakout levels, at this kind of retracement levels, and the market doesn't keep on moving strongly into a downtrend, that's suggesting that we're going to rest here and kind of move on up. So Tuesday, Wednesday's activity is going to be key here. And then just recap on the 40,500 tip bar chart. I mean, this was the signal on Thursday, just a beauty, pull back to end of trend. So we had, I think on Thursday it was the ISM numbers that kind of came out. We had that kind of spike. That was the opportunity. The professionals used that spike to mark the highs, kind of get short. End of trend sequence, bang into a downtrend here. Beautiful. You can see how we've just been moving up, exhaustion buying, bearish divergent signals, weaker and weaker buying going into this move until we get one of these little sequences, bullish and bearish right on the zero line. Means we're in equilibrium. We're going to break into a trend move, going to break into a trend move below cyclical support on 40,500 tip bar chart. So we're in a downtrend here. We've got to see pullback to end of trend. Quite extreme selling, negative 62,000 in terms of better momentum here, which is kind of equivalent to this type of move here. But again, we need to see some type of bottoming activity before this is all over, and the question is, does that happen in a kind of a narrow range in this kind of band over Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or do we kind of keep on going down and see that end of trend sequence at a lot lower levels? In terms of the day trading charts, 4,500 tip bar chart, this was kind of continuation of the downtrend from Thursday's close to Friday's open, and the bottoming process that we saw in the day trading charts on Friday. Pull back to a dirty end of trend here. That wasn't going to be the end of the move because the exhaustion selling signal was at that point. So we need to see it at the shoulder before the end of trend, or the dirty end of trend kind of sequence here. We saw it here, so this was exhaustion selling at this point, pull back to end of trend that we'll see here. A lot of blue professional bars at the end of the day and coming into a long weekend, so you can't interpret too much into that as like professional buying at the end of the day. They're just closing out positions there. So, but just be aware that we'll see an end of trend sequence when we open up on Sunday evening into kind of the Tuesday's activity, because there's going to be no day trading during Monday. For me, had a one shot, one kill. It was actually an icebreaker, kind of variation of an icebreaker trade. Normally icebreaker is for 2 points, but because of the volatility at the moment, been holding for 4 on any icebreaker trades I've taken. So here's the sequence on the 1500 tip bar chart. Open of the day, the first blue professional bar after the open, you use that as a clue as to what the professionals are doing with a cyclical turn. So I'm looking for blue professional bars and a cyclical turn. In this case, this was resistance at this point, and so we kind of sell the short of the blue professional bar, this sequence here. If it were at support with a blue professional bar coming in at the lows, then you kind of buy the breakout of the high of that blue professional bar with cyclical support. So and the reasoning behind the blue professional bar. So I always feel very nervous when it comes to the open of the day. Which way is the market going to go? What is the direction of the trend? And for me, I find it very useful just to kind of sit back and wait for that very first blue professional bar on a decent higher time frame. I'm not waiting for one on the 4,500 because that could take quite a long time, but a good intermediate time frame is the 1500 tip bar chart in order to signal what's the first thing that the professional do after the open. And there are professional activity pre-open, kind of getting set in their trades for the end of the day, but it's the professionals that their activity after the open has kind of shown itself and we see a little bit of a trend move or some directional move, what do the professionals do? And that was the clue here on Friday's trade, that they were kind of taking profits at that cyclical turning point. When you look at the 500 tip bar chart, so here's the open, we just overshoot this cyclical turning point here, Rambo pattern first of all, so we know it's a little bit suspect as a breakout. Then the professionals kind of step in here, blue professional bars at the high, bearish divergence patterns, we start to roll over. This little test back up was a beautiful little signal, amateur up bar at this point here, showing that the amateurs were trying to get long at this point here, and when the low of that amateur kind of little testing bar kind of gets taken out, downtrend continues, and then here's a nice little sequence here. So this blue professional bar, same kind of thing, kind of taking profits when we start to have a little bit of a retrace as soon as the low of that blue professional bar gets taken out. And in fact the next bar after that is a blue professional bar getting short quickly, so the lows of those bars get taken out, and so that's kind of confirmation that the trend is to the downside. And this move gets nicely caught with end of trend on this sequence here. After exhaustion selling, bullish divergence signals kind of come in here, blue professional bars kind of down at the lows here, and then the market kind of just gets caught at this point, kind of rallies forward a little bit, and then we kind of test back down into this bottom here, this end of trend here, test back down with Rambo pattern, quite extreme selling at this point, blue professional bars kind of come in here, then the market kind of makes highs up in the 80s before kind of coming down. So that was a good little one shot one kill for me on Friday. It's kind of done for the day, and I'll tag that on to the end of this video. It's pretty short, so there we go. That's what I'm kind of looking at. And again, apologies, not going to be doing much activity on the website over the next few days, just because we're packing, getting ready for a little bit of a trip overseas for a while. So enjoy the long weekend, everybody who's got Labor Day weekend kind of off in the US, and hope you traded well today. Short at 81.25. Checking my stops and targets. A bit of an icebreaker trade. First blue professional bar, 1500 tip bar chart, coming into a cyclical turning point. Yeah, we could well have a change of trend kind of going on down at the bottom here, just because we've had end of trend on the 1500 tip bar chart, exhaustion, selling, bullish divergence, and so on. But I'd have thought we'd have made one like final pass down to test these lows before kind of heading higher. So 500 tip bar chart, we kind of just overshot cyclical resistance, and kind of amateur up bar, kind of last push up, and this kind of push down. So it's going in my favor now. So let's hold on to this cyclical turn and see where it goes. It'll be, you know, it's not second cyclical turn after end of trend, but it'll be something like that. So let's have a look. Okay, that might be an interesting signal. 500 tip bar chart, we just kind of pushed up, found support here, pushed up. That was a professional blue up bar, and then another blue professional bar kind of comes in, and we fall past the lows. So that could have just been spike up, professionals using it to get in short at 81. We kind of come down, so exhaustion selling on the downside. Looks like we might break through 79. Coming up to cyclical support here, kind of amateur bar, here we go, breaking through 79. So just looking for 77.25 on a little bit of a rush after this exhaustion selling. Blue professional bar kind of comes in. So let's just hope for a little bit more. This isn't going to be over. Okay, blue professional bar. This could be on 1500. This could be kind of falling through the ice and kind of getting the move going, or just starting to get interested, picking back up like a double bottom type pattern. So just need a fraction more. Let's hold on and see. Bingo, just out for 4, 77.25. Nice. And bullish divergence is coming on the 500 tip bar chart after exhaustion, so we'll that'll stop it kind of momentarily, and we'll have a little bit of a rally back, I'd thought. Blue professional bars kind of coming in at a cyclical turning point here. It'll go off kind of momentarily, and blue professional bars coming at the 45. So I'm actually quite happy to be out at that. What is it, 8:37 AM? So market's been open 7 minutes and out with 4, so on a Friday. So quite happy with that. Kind of overextended on the 4500 tip bar chart. You know, we've been since yesterday's high was put in, we've really been moving down. And so, you know, at some point we'll kind of get caught and kind of test back up, but certainly not yet. all these blue fractional bars kind of coming in. That's a nice exit. So happy with that. Hope you traded well today.